Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to self-host n8n on an Ubuntu server using Docker and Caddy. We are going to use Hetzner server for this tutorial, but you can use any hosting of your choice like DigitalOcean, Linode, AWS. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's first visit Hetzner website and create our account. So on the right, you can see login button, click on cloud. It will redirect you to the registration page. Click on register now button and use your own credentials to register an account. Since I've already registered, so I'm not going to re-register. I'm going to go to click on login now button, use my registered credentials and click on login. Now, once you've registered, you'll be redirected to the project listing page. Here we create a new project, so let's do that. Click on new project and let's call this project n8n Hetzner tutorial. You can choose your own name here. Click on add project and your project will be listed in the project section. Okay, your project is listed here. Now let's create a server. You can do directly from this page, but for this tutorial, we are going to go to the project detail page and create server there. In the dashboard section in the left, you'll see server menu. Click on that and click on add server. You'll see a lot of configuration over there. So let's go one by one. Let's select first the location. This is the location we're going to select. In the image section, let's select Docker because we are going to use Docker for hosting n8n. In the type section, let's select Intel architecture and we're going to use CX22. It has 2 virtual CPU, 4 gigs of RAM, and it costs you very less than $4. In networking, just keep it as it is. Now add your SSH keys. I'm not going to teach you how to create SSH keys. Find a different YouTube tutorial, and if you want me to create a tutorial, just comment down below. Just paste your public key and this will allow us to access the server. Other configurations, keep it as it is. And finally, in name, let's call this name of the server n8n Hetzner tutorial. In the right, you see all the information that you've selected and click on click and buy. So it will start creating a server. It will take some time. Now, if you see our server has been created, it's showing running. This is the name of the server. We have used 2 virtual CPUs, 4 gigs of RAM. Now let's go to the server using SSH command. So this is the command that you can use to log in into the server. Copy the IP from the server you created and replace with your IP. The first thing is you need to log in with root. Once you type that, just type yes. So let's create a new user now. Let's call it n8n. Type this command 8user n8n. Now it will ask you for a new password. Type a strong password and enter all the details you want. For this tutorial, I'm just going to keep it as it is. Next, we have to grant this user sudo privilege. So let's do that. Type this command usermod az sudo n8n. Okay, our user has been granted sudo privilege. The next thing we have to do is set up firewall. Don't think about anything, just type the command I'm saying. So first, you type UFW app list. It is going to list all the available application. Then type UFW status, which shows this is a new server, so our status is inactive. Then do UFW allow OpenSSH. This is going to allow OpenSSH, so you can log into n8n using SSH with our new user created. Now let's do UFW enable. It's giving a message that this operation can disrupt the existing SSH connection. Just keep it as it is, yes. To exit, now it logs out the SSH of the root account. Now do the same command, but now with our new user created. So instead of using root, let's do n8n. It's now logging into this account. This is the basic server configuration. So let's move to next step of installing n8n. The Hetzner Docker app image doesn't have Docker Compose installed. So we need to first install this Docker Compose. So let's type this command sudo apt update and sudo apt-y upgrade. This is going to update all the necessary information on Hetzner server. Let's wait for a while because it is going to take some time. This is going to update and upgrade all the necessary package in the current server that we created. Now all the packages has been updated. So let's go and install Docker Compose plugin. Type sudo apt install Docker Compose plugin. The Docker Compose plugin has been installed. Next thing we have to do is we have to clone the Docker n8n Caddy repository. Type this command git clone and its repository. Our repository has been cloned, so go to the folder cd n8n docker caddy. And over here, let's first create Docker volume. So type sudo docker volume create caddy underscore data. So our Docker volume is created. Next is we create a Docker volume for n8n data. Sudo docker volume create n8n underscore data. So our n8n data is also, our n8n data volume is also created. You don't need to understand the technicalities behind this. Just type this command because these are necessary information that is required. The goal is to create n8n server and not understand the basic technicalities of server management and Dockers and things like that. So I'm not going to go in detail in that. Next thing we have to do is we have to set up a DNS because we're going to host in some server. You can host in your local host, but in this tutorial, we're going to host this server with some domain name. Let's call it tutorial, put it 5 minutes, and your IP. This is going to make n8n available when you type tutorial, your domain name. Once you add the DNS record, let's do a ping. So if we ping it, you can see the IP that is of the server that we created. So our DNS is already propagated. Now n8n runs as a web application. So the server needs to allow incoming access to traffic on port 80 for non-secure traffic and port 443 for secure traffic. So to do that, let's write this command sudo UFW allow port 80. It is going to add an existing rule and sudo UFW allow 443 for secured connection. Now if you do sudo UFW status, you can see our port 80 and 443 being shown. You can do that before, as I mentioned. If you're not, after as well is fine. So if you do ls in the directory, you can see a lot of configuration file. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to add some configuration for n8n. So type nano.env and let's change the first information, data folder. In the data folder, just type /home, your user, in our case n8n, and in the domain, type the name of the domain. In my case, it's brochure.eu. Then in subdomain, type the subdomain that you've added in your DNS configuration file. In our case, it's tutorial. Save it. After this, we don't need to do anything on Docker Compose YAML file, but just to kind of get an understanding, I'm going to show you what is in this file. It has a Caddy service, it has an n8n service, and this allows us to host n8n using Docker. Now, next thing we have to do is configure Caddy. So type nano caddy underscore config / caddy file. And over here, you can see the configurations. Just change the n8n domain suffix to your respective needs. So it should be tutorial.brochure.eu. In your case, whatever is your subdomain name, just put that as it is. Now we've all said, let's start our server. So to do that, type sudo docker compose up/d. This is going to run n8n server in Docker container. First time when you run it, it will try to pull all the information, all the images file. And once it's completed, it is going to start the server. Okay, our Docker container has been created. So let's check for that first. So type sudo docker ps. And if you see, there are two containers being running. One is n8n and one is our Caddy server, which is actually a proxy server. So let's test if our n8n has been set up. Type tutorial.proshow.eu, and the first thing it will do is it will ask you to set up the server. So let's type our email, random names, and your strong password, and click on next. And if you see, boom, our server has been created. So in n8n now you can start your workflow from scratch. If you see, all the nodes are available. You can, let's say type any of the nodes. Let's call it AI agent. So if you see, all the nodes are created. And if you click on about n8n, this is the version of n8n that you have installed. So this is how you can self-host n8n in your server and play around it. So just follow the tutorial, check it. And if you're stuck somewhere, just comment down below. Thank you.